to watch New Girl, and I've got more seltzers, and I'm like, that sounds dope. I've made a friend. I didn't realize until we were in his bed and his dick was out. And in that moment, I didn't realize if I was just like an ally of like, maybe I should try it, or I just realized what every woman ever feels is like, I just don't want him to be mad.
I've been doing comedy for like 8 years. Started doing open mics about 8 years, and I started taking it seriously about 5 years ago or so. Boy, I want freedom. I've always kind of chased this idea of doing what I want to do when I want to do it, and I think comedy presents me that. I think that comedy presents a lane that I could live my life how I want to, working as hard as I want to. And so like, I don't want to necessarily be rich and famous, but if I could break even and not have to work a day job and get to tell stupid jokes on the weekends and hang with the homies, I think that's like the ultimate goal. So like, for me, I've always kind of chased this idea of I don't want to live the traditional American dream. I want to make up my own dream, and I want to live what that looks like. And I think comedy presents that to me. And ultimately, I'm kind of lazy. So the idea of not really having to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just showing up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and working for an hour or two a weekend or a night, I think that that's dope. But ultimately, like grandiose existential answer, I want to be able to be free and do whatever I want to whenever I want to do it.
All right, sick. I'm done with these one-liners. How about that? They've done nothing good for me. No, I've got one more. Peeping Tom? No, I'm a masturbating Harrison.
I'm a person who's been trying to listen to the universe a lot lately, and so the universe basically kicked my ass out of Springfield and brought me here, and I think for a reason, because this club has been unbelievably welcoming, and I love everybody here, and it's been such a great thing to get into and like work myself into this fold. So I think that regardless of why I got here, I'm so happy that I did. Like, Josh has made such a point to make comics the emphasis here, and headliners recognize that. So when people are traveling all the time and they are getting beat up on the road, it's nice to come to a place like this and feel like, oh, this is a comedian safe haven. And it's nice to just like, let me take a load off, not worried about getting the shit kicked out of me on the road, and have fun Friday, Saturday night and rip up some shows.
Sean Patton actually told me that. He said, as long as you make comedy first, the people will come after that. Just make sure you take care of the comedians first. And that's what we've done. And, so far, one of the biggest feedbacks that we've got from comedians is that it feels like it was a place built by a comedian. And that means a lot, for sure.
I love the open mic because I get to go and do something that I might not do on a show, something that I might not feel comfortable doing on a paid show, and then working on those things that I have done. So then when I get to those paid shows or those extended times, I feel confident in the stuff that I'm doing. And then that's fun because it's like, now let me stretch my legs. Let me show the stuff I've been working on. And it has that like added confidence to it. I try to be such a control freak when it comes to comedy. Like, I don't like to do a whole lot of crowd work because I get real angry real fast when people heckle me, and it's not a good thing. Like, I recognize that I shouldn't get mad at people because they're just trying to have a fun time. But like, when people heckle, it makes my skin crawl a little bit, honestly.
Generally, there's no yelling out. I was struggling, you're right, and you tried to help me, and I appreciate that, but it's my job, not yours.
Do you have a moment where you like took out a heckler with your kind of snap back and how you got them?
I've never done it in a clever way. Like, I've tried to be like silly and playful, and then I get to a point where I just like snap and I just like yell, like, shut the F up or something like that.
If you signed up here, then it is your job. But if not, shut the fuck up and last. Unless I ask you a question. I'm so sorry, because you did help me. I was struggling, and you threw me a lifeline, and now I'm shitting on you. It's making an example of you. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, this guy.
Yeah. Well, like in those moments, like I think it's okay because like the whole crowd realizes that that person was trying to make it all about them. And I think comedy should be about everybody there. So I get inherently mad, and it's hard for me to be quick-witted and silly when somebody just makes me mad. So like, I try to be dismissive, and yeah, you were there that weekend, and I snapped. I told that lady to shut the fuck up and that she was ruining the people's night, and her husband was like, well, that's kind of rude. And I was like, you've been rude the whole time. I don't know what to tell you here. Yeah, so there's like there's this weird thing when you start that like if people know it's your first time, they're very nice to you, and so like it's really hard to bomb. And even sometimes the second time, it's usually like third or fourth time that you go up and do it where people don't really care anymore. There's not like a newness to it, and that you'll bomb. But no, I bomb all the time. Like I definitely bomb. I bombed a lot when I was younger. I bomb a lot now, and I think that's one of those things that like you can't be afraid to bomb. And so like now I'm leaning more into it and like trying things that I wouldn't normally try. But that bar moves. So like what I thought was bombing 5 years ago is not what I think bombing is now. Just like what I think doing well was 5 years ago is definitely not what I think doing well is now. Or doing good, doing well, I don't know.
What do you tell people that are trying to get into doing stand-up comedy or like open mics? Like, what's the best way to go about it to get started if you've not done it before?
Yeah, the best way is to just find an open mic and just go watch and like feel comfortable. Because like the joke I make to people who are getting ready to start or have thought about it and they ask me is like, if you come around it enough and you watch it twice, you'll see a lot of these people suck. And like a lot of the stuff that these people is doing is not great. I suck a lot of the time too at open mics. And I feel like that gives people confidence because in people's mind, they think, oh, I'm going to go to this open mic and it's a bunch of professional comedians who are like really good at this and da-da-da. Now, we're all just figuring it out. Like we're all just out here trying to write jokes and be silly. So find an open mic, write material that you think is funny and like important to you because jokes, I think, for me at least, should come from like a part of who you are. Find an open mic, write material, and just go up. Like it's one of those things you just got to take the plunge if you're going to do it. And if you like it, then stick with it and fuck what anybody else says. I love a lot of things about comedy. I think one of the biggest things is comedy feels a lot like baseball to me, and baseball is my first love. There's a lot of failure in comedy, just like there is in baseball, but the process is what you're worried about. So I'm not necessarily worried about if this joke works every time. I'm worried about that I'm confident in the work that I've put in and I can do this when I need to. But I think the other thing about it is that comedy never lies. No matter how good somebody thinks they are, no matter how bad somebody thinks they are, laughs don't lie, and the crowd never lies. So if the crowd laughs, your joke works, period. And I think that I love that about an art form or about a thing that I do in life is that you can't hide a guttural reaction. You can't hide a belly laugh. You can't hide whatever makes you feel that way. So I think that for me, it's like the cream will always rise to the top, and I love that about comedy.
I waited to kiss them the first time we were ever having sex, and they go, whose pussy is this? If you don't know, I definitely don't know. That's not for me to decide. As an ally, baby, that's up to you. I don't know. How'd you feel this morning, bro, man? You're under death. You got to kiss your forehead. I identify as confused. I'll tell you that much. Turns out that pussy was nuts. So.
I'm Harrison Broadstreet. I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm a stand-up comedian.